Hi all, you are watching a fragment of the countdown program from October 26, 2023. Today is Thursday. View all of our programs on the Patreon resource. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. I'll talk about the themes of the postscript a little later, but now about the most important thing. As I warned, Putin's machine of aggression does not go back, so the Kremlin will raise the stakes to the last. On Wednesday, Putin and his military team conducted exercises involving the mass launch of nuclear missiles in response to some kind of enemy strike. The boys did not specify who this opponent was. But, as practice shows, the racists always strike first, dispelling the propaganda hallucination that, if you don't strike now, then it will be too late. This is how Russia attacked Ukraine, accusing Kyiv and the West of similar intentions. This is how it will attack Western countries. At least he'll try. But the main goal is to scare the collective West, showing it that everything is flying around here, and all your assumptions that everything is rotten here are not true. Nothing has rotted among us. And most of what will be launched from our minds will definitely arrive. Moscow can learn from Pyongyang about raising the stakes and endlessly rattling nuclear weapons. The concentration camp there is small, but the nuclear scarecrow, regularly displayed, works. What can we say about the cave, which is huge, despite its poor condition? Putin ordered to recruit another 100,000 organisms so that they, like cockroaches, crawl towards Ukraine and they will recruit them. The bald Führer hopes that he will starve Ukraine out. After all, he actually has a larger population, and no matter how much ammunition the Western allies supply to Ukraine, one day there will simply be no one to shoot them. People will run out. This is exactly what the Kremlin creature is counting on, looking at how selflessly Ukrainians fight for their land. The rat strategy of slowly, which involves prolonging the war and exhausting the enemy, is working so far. But the boys' nerves and wallets are also not made of iron. And even though Soluanov bravely reports that there is money, don't worry, in reality it is becoming less and less. The lack of ammunition is also making itself felt. So we have to listen to Shoigu's nonsense about 24 planes shot down in 5 days. If there are no real successes on the fronts, the Russians will completely lie. From Putin to Deep Mariavana. Watch this and other stories in full on the Patreon resource. Become our patrons right now and look further in this program. After Secretary of State Blinken once again poked his nose at Guterres with the words, "Where is the UN's condemnation of Hamas's actions?" the UN Security Council met again. And the organization again did not work. The resolution on the war between Israel and Hamas was never adopted at the UN. Today a video appeared of Israeli army soldiers entering Hamas dungeons. The spectacle is impressive. Orban's Fidesz party has blocked a proposed vote on Sweden's bid to join NATO. At the same time, Beijing is demonstrating its readiness to turn towards the West in the name of saving its shaky economy. Watch in the program, Postscript. Good Russian agents continue to arrive in France. Former Russian State Duma deputy Gennady Gudkov requested political asylum in France after he was unable to obtain a new passport at the Russian embassy. The shadow coordinator of the Good Russians should add efficiency to their work. Dmitry Gudkov is already ready to follow in his father's footsteps. Probably, at Lubyanka they decided that the French direction had weakened after the leak of Osechkin and the escape of Feigen, whose rescue, by the way, was handled by Gennady Gudkov. And now he will strengthen the core of Good Russians, with his entire experienced body. The new Prime Minister of Slovakia, Robert Fico, burst out with a number of statements that are unlikely to please the European community. But all these words are addressed to the conservative electorate, which will soon experience disappointment from their own choice. And that is all. View all of our programs on the Patreon resource. And thanks to everyone who is becoming our patrons right now. I hugged everyone. We will meet you tomorrow on Friday Live. Glory to Ukraine.